All right, MLN fans, it is game one of the 2023 inaugural League World Series here between the Los Angeles Dragons, managed by Ben Vincent, and the St. Joseph Sausage Dogs, managed by Zigmo. 8:05 start here, 40,000 fans in attendance. It's 50 degrees, the wind blowing out to left here at the Dog Pound. And let's take a look at the starting pitchers tonight. For the visiting Dragons, it's going to be Roger Millie. Went 1-2 against St. Joe this season, 12-7 overall. Uh, really, overall, just kind of an average pitcher here. Throws a lot of pitches, doesn't throw any of them spectacularly well. Gets some good movement on the ball, bounces around a little bit. In his only outing in the playoffs here, he gave up 3 hits and an earned run against Cooperstown in the previous series. Got no decision in the game. They're hoping he can hold things down here in the opening game against St. Joseph. And on the other side, the home team, Miguel Patron. Patron 0-3 against the Dragons this season, 13-11 overall. Excuse me. Uh, 1-0 in the playoffs. No, not in the playoffs. He's 0-1 in the playoffs. Last win was against Las Vegas, whoever they are. And again, just looking to get out of the game without too much damage for both of these pitchers. If they can get, 6, 7 innings, quality start, even 5, the managers here will be happy. Let's go down to the field. Notable statistics as I was looking through things. Ferdinando Barber absolutely whacked the cover off the ball against Los Angeles this season, hitting in the high 400s overall. On the other side, backup catcher Zhang hit 647 and 17 at bats against St. Joseph. So let's go get to some storylines here. All right. First things first, the defense. Gus Tynes behind the plate for St. Joseph. Jesus, the Jesus Mesa over at third base. Ferdinando Barber, the shortstop. David Perez at second, MVP of the League Championship Series. And Oliver Vargas, the first baseman. This outfield, spectacular in all aspects of defense here, arm and covering some ground. Orlando Cerezo in left, Atilio Carrillo in center, and Bill Christensen out in right. Christensen, maybe the biggest story of this postseason, was given away for a couple of expired packages of chocolate milk from Costco in the late trading deadline period. The Springfield Isbells gave him up for literally next to nothing, some kind of deal with the devil bullshit there. In any case, huge contributor for St. Joseph down the stretch, yet a huge contributor in the playoff series against the New York Dem Apples here. 7-game series, and Christensen was an impact player in every single one of them. Due up here, Bobby Collier, the MVP of the other league championship series, Jorge Coriano and Tommy Nance, the catcher, to face Miguel Patron. Let's see how it goes. So it's the 0-1 to Collier from Patron. And he hits a sharp grounder, easily retired. Barber makes the play. And the leadoff hitter is down, and the World Series is underway, folks. Here's Jorge Coriano. The 1-0 to Coriano. And he hits it hard, but center fielder Carrillo ranges over, makes the play, and that's 2 out. Now here in the top of the first, Tommy Nance, the catcher, steps in, likes the first pitch he sees, but hits it right at Barber, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 inning for Los Angeles, and St. Joseph comes to bat. So, around the field here for the Dragons is Tommy Nance behind the plate, Matt George over at third base, Zachary Johnstone at short, Felipe Lara, the second baseman, and Carlitos Genes, the first baseman. Bobby Collier out in left, Jorge Coriano in center, and Moises Mendoza out in right to back up Roger Millie. And here is Ferdinando Barber leading off, followed by Vargas, and then Perez. The 3-1 to Barber, and he misses outside. Ball 4, leadoff walk for Millie to put Barber at first base, and Oliver Vargas at the plate now with nobody on and a runner at first. And Vargas hits what should be 2. No. Johnstone decides to make the throw straight to first, doesn't try for the double play. Barber takes second. And he successfully moves the runner over. Here we are with runner at second base, and David Perez, the previous series MVP, 10 for 28 in the playoffs so far. And the 3-1 to Perez, and he walked him as well. Millie struggling to throw strikes here in these first couple of batters. Not what they wanted to see from him today, and it's Christensen now at the plate with runners at first and second, and only one out. A 3-1 to Christensen, and he walks him as well. Bases loaded. Bases loaded on 3 walks from Millie, and only one out in the inning so far, and Jesus, the Jesus Mesa, has a chance to make an impact here in his first at bat. The 3-1, he hits this one all the way out. Grand slam home run. That's a grand slam home run for Jesus, the Jesus Mesa, and that is what St. Joseph wanted to see to start off this game. Huge at bat from Mesa. Roger Millie walks the bases full and then throws a meatball to the Jesus. And you don't, as they say, nobody fucks with the Jesus. Huge at bat. And with one down and the bases empty, we'll start over. Here's Paul Miller, the hero of Game 7. Keeps that little bit going with a single here. Millie in big trouble here. Only one out, only retired one batter, and Miller over at first with great speed. It should be pointed out, Miller not only contributed with his bat in the last 2 games of that series, but also stole a key base that allowed him to score on a base hit. Just a huge step up after mostly choking his way through the first 5 games, I should say. And it's Cerezo now. 6 for 28 in the playoffs. Miller's moving. Oh boy, not even close. What a throw. That was great play by Nance. Guns down Miller, who again, great speed, good base stealer, but had him by a mile there. And now it's 2 down for Orlando Cerezo. And the 1-2 pitch from Millie, and that gets through for another base hit. Lines it into center, just pops it right past the infielders there. Not what they wanted to see, and it's Gus Tynes now to the plate, the 8th batter of the inning. And that should finally do it. Johnstone makes the play, but 8 batters in the inning, 4 runs score after 3 walks to the first 3 batters, followed by 3 walks to the 3 of the first 4 batters, followed by a huge home run from the Jesus. It's a 4-0 St. Joseph lead after 1. All right, Buchon comes out now with a little bit of swagger. He's got some comfort, and Matt George to the plate. George hits that one hard. Doesn't carry. It's going to get pulled in by Christensen and right, and that's 1 down. Buchon only thrown 6 pitches so far. And here comes Tyler Coleman, the DH. Coleman 4 for 15 in the last series. The 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Coleman goes down swinging, and that's 2 down now, and Moises Mendoza, the right fielder, 8 for 24 with a home run in the postseason. Full count to Mendoza, and he walked him. Mendoza takes first on the base on balls, and it's Carlito Zenez now with the first base runner on the base paths for Los Angeles. Zenez steps in 0-2, bloops that one out to right. Christensen gets underneath it. That will do it for the inning. So they strand a runner after the walk. No runs on no hits so far for the Dragons. And here we come in the bottom of the second. St. Joseph with a 4-run lead already. Atilio Carrillo, the number 9 hitter, to lead things off. Struck him out. That happens to Carrillo a lot. They let it slide because, man, can that guy play center field. Here is Fernando Barber. Barber hit really well against this team all season long. He walked in the first inning to lead off the game. And he hits that one on a rope to center field. Absolute rocket out to center, and that is a base hit. Here is Vargas now with 1 down and the runner at first. Vargas walks So Vargas, the only batter of the first five retired by Millie the first time through. This time he walked him. Runners at first and second. That is the fourth walk. The fourth walk in 1 1/3 for Roger Millie. And here is David Perez, the second baseman. Perez also walked and scored in the first. And he'll walk again. He'll walk again to load the bases for the second time this game. The bases loaded, this time to Bill Christensen. Just as dangerous up there as Mesa, who's on deck, by the way. And Millie in deep trouble here after his fifth walk. And Christensen hits what ought to be a double play, but is not. A run scores, and they get the runner at second. So the lead runner, there's still a lead runner at third. That was an ugly bit of fielding by Matt George. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. If you're not going to go home with it, maybe at least try to get the tag on the guy in the coming to third. I don't know. That's nasty. All right. So here's Mesa with the grand slam home run in his previous at bat, and we've gone to the pen. It's Manuel Resto. Resto pitched a good bit in a loss against Cooperstown a couple of days ago. The 3 1/3, gave up only 3 hits, but gave 2 runs and walked 2 in that game. And they're looking for him to eat some innings here. So Roger Millie, the starting pitcher, chased after 1 2/3 here in the opening game of the World Series after giving up 5 runs. And here's Jesus, the Jesus Mesa, in his second at bat. Goes to a full count. And the payoff pitch, Mesa hits on the ground and is retired. So, Resto gets him out of the inning, but not before they get another run across. The lead is now 5 to nothing for the home team. And here is Felipe Lara to lead things off. He'll be followed by Johnstone and Bobby Collier. Trone takes it to a full count, but then strikes him out, freezes Lara right there, and strikes him out with one right down the middle. It is Zachary Johnstone now. Johnstone 5 for 19 in the playoffs. Had a couple of big at-bats early in the last series. And this time, he's patient, gets a walk. So Johnstone over at first, and Bobby Collier with a runner on base. Collier 9 for 24 so far in the playoffs. 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. He's done nothing but get on base. Here's the 0-2, and he struck him out. Collier is chasing that pitch, climbing the ladder, and does not get there. And it's 2 down now for Jorge Coriano with Johnstone at first. Another full count, and the payoff pitch is hit in the air, and yeah, somebody's going to get to it. Perez makes the play deep in the grass, the outfield, and they retire the side again. LA still hitless in this game. St. Joseph piling it on. Resto to face Paul Miller, Orlando Cerezo, and Gus Tynes in this inning. Miller goes 0-2, and he struck out. Miller down, it's Orlando Cerezo. The 1-2 count. He's 1 for 1. That one grounded to the shortstop. And the throw is in time. They get Cerezo at first. So 2 down now for Gus Tynes, the catcher. Oh, and he struck out Tynes. That'll do. That will do. Sausage Dogs still have a 5-run lead. As we start the 4th inning, it's Tommy Nance, Matt George, and Tyler Coleman, the heart of the order for Los Angeles, trying to get anything going here. The 2-1 pitch to George, or Nance, I'm sorry. Nance wraps it into center field for a base hit. First hit of the game, and they got a leadoff hitter on for the first time in 4 innings. Now it's Matt George. George struggled in the earlier series, although he hit a big home run in that Game 6 to get them into the World Series here. But George is, let's not forget, one of the best hitters on this team, one of the better hitting third basemen in the league. They're looking for a lot from him here still. 1-2, and he hits that one hard for a base hit. Runner's going to go to third. Nice at bat. Nice at bat from Matt George, and that brings up Tyler Coleman with runners at first and third and nobody out, and Patrone finds himself in a little trouble for the first time. Oh, and he walks Coleman to load the bases. That's not ideal. It's Moises Mendoza now with a chance. He is 8 for 24 in the playoffs. He walked his last time up. Big at bat, 2-2 pitch to Mendoza, He likes what he sees. He hits a high bouncing ground ball that'll score at least one. Very nice. Base hit with the bases loaded, brings across a run, and the visiting Dragons are on the board at least, maybe feeling a little bit better about things with Carlitos Zenez now, nobody out, and the bases juiced. Zenez takes the 0-1 pitch the other way. That'll get down for a base hit. That should definitely score two. No. And these guys are slow as shit. 5-2. Sausage Dogs lead, but LA continues to threaten. Felipe Lara now with his chance. Bases loaded, nobody out. Struck him out. Butron gets the strikeout. It's fourth. At grand scheme of things, at least it wasn't a double play grounder. And here with one out is Zachary Johnstone. Takes the count full, and then rips one down the line. It gets down. RBI, maybe two. Just one. They're getting them one at a time. That's fine, though. 3 runs in the inning now. Butron finds himself squandering some of this lead that his team built up for him. Here's Collier, probably the most dangerous hitter in this lineup right now, with the bases loaded. And the 0-1 pitch to Collier is hit hard and deep to left. It's out of here. The second grand slam of the game, 353 feet to left. We talked about that wind blowing out. He gets a little boost from that, and that gives the Dragons a 7-5 lead. They came into this inning without a single base hit, and now they have a 7-5 lead after stringing together 6 consecutive hits. And Lorenzo Barrera is coming out of the pen to replace Butron. Well, we said that the starters needed to eat some innings, get a quality start out of this, and neither of them did. So here comes Barrera. Hasn't pitched in these playoffs. He's a guy they're hoping can just hold things together for the middle of the game here, basically. A full count now to Coriano, and Coriano hits it to the shortstop. That's a ground out, 2 down. And Tommy Nance to the plate, a number 3 hitter. Nance got a single earlier this inning, and this time he strikes out. But 7 runs on 6 hits in that inning for the Dragons to take the lead, and they hushed up this crowd pretty well. The St. Joseph fans were feeling really good going into that half of the inning, but not anymore. And now here come the Sausage Dogs trailing in the game in spite of putting up 5 runs in the first 3 innings. It's Carrillo, Barber, and Vargas to face Resto here. 2-2 from Resto, and Barber gets it out into the air, but playable to Coriano, and that's 1 down. Here's Ferdinando Barber. Barber is 1 for 1 with a walk. Struck him out this time. Nice pitch from Resto, and he is going to take a seat for Angel Griego. Griego pitched 3 times in the Cooperstown series, 4 2/3 innings, and only allowed 1 hit in all of that time. Guy's got some nasty, nasty break-in shit. Get you your knees buckling and bat flying out of your hands. He is filthy with the curveball. And it's 2-2 to Vargas, and he struck him out. So Griego comes in and gets it done. Resto did a good job of getting him back in the game, or keeping the Sausage Dogs at bay so the Dragons can get back in the game. And here Barrera will face the cleanup hitter George, followed by Tyler Coleman and Moises Mendoza. George 1 for 2 on the day. He singled and scored. Not this time. Grounds out to Barber at short. And it is Tyler Coleman now. Coleman 0 for 1 with a walk. Coleman gets that one. A lot of places that would have been a hit, but again, this outfield covers some ground. That's Christensen over there to make the play, and that's 2 down. So Moises Mendoza 1 for 1 with an RBI, and he hits it hard down the line. Nice play by Vargas to get a hold of it, and he takes it out himself, and that will do it. Here we go. Perez, Christensen, and the Jesus in this inning to face Griego. The 1-0 to Perez. That's double. Deep into the gap. Textbook double from David Perez. He slides even though he doesn't need to. Nice play. So Perez at second with the leadoff double, and Bill Christensen. That pitch gets away from Nance. It's a wild pitch, not a pass ball. Terrible pitch from Griego on the 2-2, and that puts a runner at third with nobody out. And now Billy Christensen just needs a long fly ball. Instead, he hits a short grounder to third. George pulls it in and throws him out at first. One down. Jesus, the Jesus Mesa, 1 for 2 with a grand slam home run in this game. Oof. Grounds out hard to the shortstop, but not hard enough to get anything through the infield. And they go to the bullpen one more time. It's Mike Weedling. Weedling pitched 3 times against Cooperstown at Well, did 3 1/3, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. In there, he's a 26-year-old lefty with a decent fastball, okay cutter. More importantly, he's a fresh arm. And here is Paul Miller. Miller 1 for 2 in this series, rewriting the narrative of the playoffs for himself in his last couple of games. There's an RBI double. Possibly a triple. Miller can fly on the base paths. Collier gets it back in. Yep, he'll stay at second for the double. 7-6, the Dragons lead. But St. Joseph threatening now with 2 outs and a runner on second for Orlando Cerezo. And that should score Miller. That's deep into the corner. And yep, tie game. RBI single for Orlando Cerezo ties the game up. Paul Miller coming around to score. And now it's Gus Tynes with 2 down and a runner at first. The 1-0, the runner is going. Oof, I would not run on Tommy Nance today. He has got it down. Cerezo is gunned down by a mile, and that gets him out of the inning. So here's Barrera to face Genes, Lara, and Johnstone. And halfway through, 5 innings in, starting the 6th, we are tied at 7. 7 runs on 6 hits for the Dragons, 7 runs on 7 hits for St. Joseph. And deep into the bullpen on both sides, here is Genes to lead it off. First pitch he sees. Oh, he likes it. Drives it right back up the middle for a base hit. Zenes is on with a single, and it is Felipe Lara next. Lara 0 for 2. And that is going to be an easy play in center for Carrillo. So 1 down. Zenes at first, not fast. Zachary Johnstone, the shortstop, dribbles one back to the mound. Yep, they make the fielder's choice, take the play at second. Good throw by Tynes to get the runner force out at second. And here is Bobby Collier now, but with only a runner at first. Collier, huge at bat earlier, grand slam home run. And this time, not going to happen. Just an easy pop out to Meza. And they're out of the inning. So halfway through 6, 7-7. And St. Joseph going to send Gus Tynes, Atilio Carrillo, and Ferdinando Barber to the plate in this inning to face now Dustin Sorey. Sorey, 22 years old, pitched twice in the Cooperstown series, 2 1/3, did not surrender any hits, gave up 1 walk, been very effective in the playoffs, it would appear. Good fastball, better slider. Let's see what he's got here against these St. Joe bats that have been absolutely smoking today. Gus Tynes, 0 for 2. Sorry's first pitch of the game, and Tynes hits it right past the second baseman for a base hit. It was just looking to see if they were going to call that an error, but they do not. It's a single for Gus Tynes, and he is at first with all the speed of that broken down Camaro that sits in the front yard of my Uncle Eddie's house in Las Vegas. Here's Atilio Carrillo, lays down a bunt. That's going to move Tynes over to second. They get Carrillo at first on the sacrifice, just like they drew it up. And here is Ferdinando Barber. Barber 1 for 2 today, also with a walk. And that's a little blooper, but playable for Coriano in center. And that's 2 down. Sorry is hurt, and they have to pull him out of the game. Oh, that's unfortunate. Another arm going to have to come out of the bullpen as Sorry goes down with an injury, and it's Eric Berry. Berry has 2 appearances, each 1/3 of an inning in these playoffs. Allowed 1 hit, struck out 2. kid gets a decent amount of strikeouts. It's mostly about the fastball, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. That is his pitch, and he is not a guy who's going to eat a lot of innings. He's probably good for maybe a full inning. And he walked Vargas. Barry, to be fair, he didn't expect to be up here. Here's Perez with runners at first and second, and he walks Perez also on the full count to load the bases. Loaded bases has been a thing here, and it's Bill Christensen with his second at bat with the bases loaded. The first time wasn't able to get anything done. Oh, not this time either. Grounds out to Lara. They strand three. Don't get a run in spite of getting the bases juiced there. And here's Barrera to face Coriano, Nance, and George in the top half of the seventh. Full count, and he struck him out. Barrera gets a strikeout, and Tommy Nance to the plate now. Nance singled earlier, and he strikes out this time. Barrera has 2 strikeouts in a row. It's 3 total, and it's Matt George. George 1 for 3 in the game. Hit the shit out of that. Holy shit. Deep into the bleachers and left. Taking advantage of that wind. 378 feet. George gives Los Angeles the lead with his second home run of the postseason and his second in the last 2 games. Here is Tyler Coleman now with 2 outs, nobody on. The 0-1 pitch to Coleman is belted, but hauled in deep center field near the warning track by Carrillo. Dragons get a run, take the lead, and we're going to go to the 7th inning stretch. Enjoy Up with People, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, they go to the bullpen again. It's Estevan Soto now. Pretty soon they're going to bring Ben Vincent out himself to pitch. Soto, very, very good arm. Fastball is just a rocket, and the changeup, nice change of speed. He pitched against Cooperstown twice, gave up 3 hits in 1 full inning of play, but looking for a clean slate here against St. Joseph. Tough part of the lineup to get through here, though. It's the Jesus, followed by Paul Miller and Cerezo. Miller and Cerezo both hitting well tonight, and the Jesus is a monster out there. Soto deals the 1-2, and he struck out the Jesus. Can't argue with that. Here's Paul Miller. Miller 2 for 3. Making up for lost time in these playoffs, but he strikes out as well. Soto struck out 2 in a row, and it's Cerezo now. Cerezo 2 for 3 himself. And he gets the ground out. Hits it hard over to George, makes the play, and after 7, score is 8 for the Los Angeles Dragons to 7 for the home team Sausage Dogs. And Barrera stays in the game. He's pitched 3 2/3 already. Very effective, only giving up 2 hits. He struck out 3. Allowed 1 run, and he's got Mendoza, Zenes, and Lara in this inning. Mendoza 1 for 2. Oof, that's extra bases. Off the wall in the gap in left center. He's into second. There's a lot of play-by-play in there that wasn't in the animation, but apparently Cerezo ran into the wall in the process. And it is Zenes now with the leadoff man on second base. And they'll walk him intentionally to get to a pinch hitter. It's Carlos Solis. Solis has batted twice in these playoffs. The first time, he hit a home run in a pinch hit appearance. His first career home run came in a very key moment in the previous playoff series. And the first pitch he sees here, he belts. Oh my goodness, Cerezo making a great play on the run to pull that one in. Mendoza gets up to third, but wow, Cerezo took away extra bases with that running catch, and it's Johnstone now with 1 down and runners at the corners. Johnstone hits it hard up the line. That's going to score at least 1, maybe 2. The runner rounds third, I believe. Great camera work. Yep, 2-run double. And Los Angeles is now ahead 10 to 7. An offensive explosion in this game, and it's Bobby Collier hit a grand slam home run earlier. The 1-0 to Collier, and he hits it down the line, but this time it's fielded cleanly by the Jesus, and they get Collier at first. So 2 down now for Jorge Coriano and Zachary Johnstone hanging out on second. Full count, and that is going to be playable for Cerezo on left. Cerezo got a lot of work that inning. They get out of it after allowing 2 runs. Now it's 10 runs on 10 hits for the Dragons through 8. Home half of the 8th, Gus Tynes, Carrillo, and Ferdinando Barber to face Estevan Soto, who struck out 2 of the first 3 batters he faced in the last inning. Defensively, the substitution is Ben Fisher, coming in after Solis hit for Lara in the last inning. So Ben Fisher in at second base. Those of you keeping score at home. And here, the first pitch from Soto to Tynes. Tynes pops back through the middle for another base hit. Gus Tynes doing more than they'd expect out of him, and that's always nice to see. When your catcher can get a couple of base hits in this league, that's a winning secret sauce here. So Mike Gilliam now with a runner at first. Gilliam is pinch hitting here for Carrillo, the center fielder. Gilliam also plays center field, will probably come in on defense. Not nearly as well as Carrillo, but at this point in the game, you'd rather have the bat. The 1-2 pitch to Gilliam. Like I said, he can strike out just like Carrillo would have. And that brings up the top of the order in Ferdinando Barber. Barber 1 for 3 tonight. The runner on first and 1 out. And that is hit to center hard, but playable for Coriano. And he's out. So Tynes remains at first. Vargas now up. Vargas is 0 for 2, but he's walked. And the 1-2 pitch, he pops up, and that'll likely do it for the inning. It does. After 8 innings, the Dragons have come to St. Joseph and taken a commanding 10-7 lead. And it's Nance, George, and Coleman, the heart of the order. Barrera walks Nance to start the inning. So Tommy Nance at first from Matt George with nobody out. Full count to George. Hit a home run earlier, and he walked him this time. So Lorenzo Barrera has walked 2 in a row. We've got runners at first and second with nobody out. Dragons looking to add just a little bit more insurance, I guess. Here's Tyler Coleman. 3-0 to Coleman, and he walked him. They've walked the bases full. Another bases loaded opportunity. This time it's for Moises Mendoza. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI so far. And the 1-0 pitch to Mendoza, that was ugly. He infield hit? It's an infield hit. He drops one sort of spinning in the grass in front of Gus Tynes. Tynes is able to get to it, but not in time to either make a play behind him at the plate or to throw down to first and get Mendoza. So it's an RBI single for Moises Mendoza with the bases loaded without even hitting the ball past the pitcher's mound. And here's Carlito Zenes now with the bases juiced. He's 2 for 3 today. He struck him out. Barrera zeroes in on Zenes and strikes him out. And here is Ben Fisher to pinch hit. And Fisher strikes out. 5th strikeout for Barrera. So he walks the bases full and then strikes out 2 in a row. Little bipolar action happened here from Lorenzo Barrera. He's thrown 90 pitches today. He didn't start this game, but he's already 90 pitches deep. And here is Zachary Johnstone with the bases loaded, the 0-1 pitch, and that is going to be caught. Christensen makes the play and right. They leave the bases loaded, but they add another run. It's 11-7, 4-run lead into the 9th, and here is Tommy Irvine out of the pen. Irvine, absolutely bonkers fastball, 100-mile-an-hour plus fastball, a curveball that's just enough off-speed action to throw people off. He pitched against Cooperstown 2 full innings, 2 1/3 against Cooperstown, only allowed 1 hit, struck out 2 in those appearances. And they're looking for him to shut the door here against the heart of the order, Perez, Christensen, and the Jesus. So, big moment here. David Perez played really well in this postseason so far. First pitch he sees, he's swinging, and he belts it to left. That's a base hit. Good start. Good hitters doing what good hitters need to do. Looking for a pitch they like and getting it into play. Now Perez at first with Bill Christensen at the plate. They still got a long way to go here, but nobody out. The 0-2 to Christensen, he struck him out. Irvine punches out Christensen, and it's Jesus the Jesus Meza now. 1 for 4 with a grand slam home run, and he likes that 2-2 pitch, but doesn't get enough of it. That's a fly out. 2 down now. Runner at first for Paul Miller, and the tying run is still not even on deck. It's yeah, it's a base hit for no, it's not a base hit. He takes the force at second, and that's going to do it. The Dragons come into St. Joseph on the road and uh, absolutely rock, absolutely rock the pitching staff here. 11 runs on 11 hits for the Dragons here against St. Joseph. St. Joseph got off to an early lead, but then fell behind and never came back. 7 runs on 10 hits for them. Tons of offense in this game. Not totally surprising, as we talked about at the top. Both of those pitchers had the risk of this situation. All right, we'll see you for game 2 sometime soon.